Hey there, viewers, and welcome back to the Self-Made Auto Channel. Got 2010 Chevrolet, it's the Impala. I don't know what engine's in it, but it's big. It has a issue going on in the back. I looked at it a little bit ago for this fella. It's going to need a left bearing. It's got some corrosion, and it's going to need the wiring harness in the back too, huh? Sounds just like a dealership. You need a harness. In this case, it really does. Actually, it needs a connector. Harness isn't terribly expensive, so we're just going to do the rear harness. Warning, air tools are about to be used. Second warning, the brakes on this thing aren't in great shape. Warning, the wheel nuts are all swelled up. Lucky for us, we have our Astro Tools half-size wheel nut socket set. Had a sticker on it probably, but I like to write on it with a marker. And here they are, your handy little 4-piece set. We will grab the 19.5. Made for situations like this. Ooh, that one's almost in need of a 20. 21 and a half is going to be too big. Anyhow, these typically work until your nuts are so swollen they don't. On these ones they'll work. But on this one, she's swole. That one needs to go to the doctor. Let's grab a 20. We thought it'd be a big production just getting the wheel off. This guy did. Happens every day here, folks. Basically every car that comes in all needs new lug nuts. Especially if they have these OEM style chrome capped wheel nuts. Very, very common. We usually replace them with a solid wheel nut. If the customer wants it, most of them don't. They're only a couple bucks a piece. Ooh, ooh. Girl, you crusty. We were not hired to replace the brakes on this car. We were hired to fix the anti-lock brake light. And that's it, bottom line. So before you get on me, that's why things look like this, and when it goes back together, it's gonna look just like that. It's not my responsibility to do the brakes. You can inform the customer, but that's it. Say, hey, your brakes are rusty. And they say, hey, fix my light. And I say, hey, okay. Yeah, some people don't understand that. I just work for the general public. Old Joe, I call him, Joe Public. So it's not like we're doing this work, it's not like this is my own vehicle. Okay, we're just gonna leave the caliper all together. It's all rusty and crappy. We're just gonna pull the bolt off the back, looking like the 13 mil variety. Be warned, she's a screamer. Told you. Well, maybe I could have grabbed a bigger screwdriver. That ain't gonna help right now. We'll come back here. Oh, they are 13 mil. Look at this guy. First try. There's one. Ooh, they're all never sneezed. Great. That's gonna be everywhere. Oof, all over that one too. So there's that, easy peasy. Now we'll give her a little pull there. Get in on that inside pad a little bit. Oh, I'll be dipped. That thing moved pretty easy. Still has pad left, or about halvesies. We're gonna take and just set that there. Better get something to hang it with because I gotta bring out this guy and give her one of those. Teach you a little trick me ma taught me. Keep your pads from falling out. your brake pads. Not the sanitary napkin style that you're thinking. Here we go. There's that. Put on your muffs. Warning. Let's see, I don't think we need to pull the parking brake. I can't 110% remember. We might have to. Yeah, that lower half of the mechanism goes over top of something. I don't like to finish sentences. It's been a while since I've done one of these, now that I think about it. Yes, sir. So yeah, that mechanism down there goes over top of the parking brake shoes. Now, I don't recall right offhand. I'll tell you, let's flip this little guy up. Let's take and pop. Well, I'm just worried that this is all going to fall apart on us. Just like that. So we're going to pop out the slack adjuster here for the parking brake shoe, because we're probably going to be doing some beating and some smashing. So we're going to pop out this side. Now this side has a little pin in it. Make sure you don't lose that little guy. Very, very important. Okay, now we shouldn't lose anything else on here. We're going to have to unhook some stuff off the back for sure. I'm going to pop this spring off here. Ooh, it feels like it's going to get me. Nope. We need to unhook that because we need to unhook the cable. This little guy right here, it looks like it's probably seized on there. Come on, unseize, fella. There we go. Okay, so that's starting to unseize. Let's see what holds the cable on down this end. I think it's just this little guide. Oh, it's really not holding much right now. This plastic. Wiggle this out of here. Oh yeah, old cable's all crap anyways. The whole end's broke off it. We just need to get it off enough to do our job. Get it back on. Cable's probably seized up anyhow. They never really seem to work. This is not functioning how they claim that. What's up, old girl?
It only gave me one option for the Champion.
Oh, okay.
So I put those in the cart.
Yep.
And then I crossed the OE number.
Mm-hmm.
And then that only gives me 2 Denso numbers. But it doesn't give me the Champion
Doesn't give you
number.
yeah, it'll have Champions in it. It should have. Did it say actual OE part when you were looking at it? Or how much are the OE versus aftermarket? You can just get the OEM ones right from Dodge if you want.
I don't know.
I'm just gonna leave that in there for right now, folks. Typically, you would take this out, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. It's all rusted right in there. We'll get it before we're done here. I feel kind of fumbly in this video. I don't know why. I don't know why. This is always trying to help out ordering parts, which is nice of her. That is not 15. Is that what I grabbed? We got a 13. They look like a 14. That would be weird. That's kind of bizarre. Let's go get a 14. Don't see many 14s on a Chevrolet. It's probably 9/16. Because it's a Chevy. America. America. Nope, she's 10 mil thread. Not 3/8. Zoom! That one's on the floor. Now these ones might be a different length. Because these go through the parking brake mechanism as well. However, good Chevy fashion, they're the same. So we can't mix them up, so that's good. Oh. It is unplugged. I've already unplugged the sensor. I don't know. I don't know why this isn't all coming back to me. Oh, I see. It's got a couple screws. Must be coming from the back side. I see some threaded stuff still. I'll be dipped. It does. Good thing we didn't just smash and bash. Well, this could be a real sugar show. We want to get it off, which we can. We can take the whole backing plate and everything off and then separate it, which we will. This style here you can use a slide hammer on, which is great because you don't have to worry about it popping off the outer part of the bearing. Let's elect to do that. Let's get a thing on there and give her a few whacks. I don't know how much the backing plate can take if we get back there and start beating and bashing. We're gonna try something. May or may not work. We're gonna use the Astro pneumatic air hammer. Mr. Subaru did a video on this pulling off a hub. Of course, he lives in a fantasy world where there's no rust. And it worked wonderfully. I don't suspect it's going to work, in my opinion. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope it works wonderful. But I've wailed enough on a 10-pound slide hammer to know that this probably isn't going to have enough inertia. That's my thought. But we're going to give it a try. And I'm doing it wrong because clearly not working. Let me go get the right adapter. Now I'm doing it correctly. So we'll thread this little guy all the way on there. Okay. Let's hope for the best. Ooh. Wait for the compressor to kick off and get some air tool oil. From the blaster. We'll give her a big juice. Ooh, hey, ooh, compressor's up to 175. Let's rock and roll. Alright, so that's that. Like I say, it's a good tool. It has its purpose. My brother used it the other day. Had to borrow it. They were working on a, I think it was an old B model Mac. Of course, the injectors were, stuck in the head really bad. So he came up and used it. Worked great in that application because they were able to get it under the certain section of the cab or place where they were, bang, 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 pop the injector right out the head, which worked pretty slick. But something like this, like I say, I've spent enough time behind a slide hammer to know that likely wasn't going to work in this application. Hard to beat inertia when it comes to the big slide hammer here. And this may not even work as well. Oh my goodness, nope, it worked good. Maybe the other tool just softened it. I thought it was gonna come off harder than that. Didn't come off too hard. Ooh, okay. Now we gotta get those screws out of the back of that backing plate. Every tool has its purpose. These are made by Astro. These things are actually pretty legit. Torx bits are perhaps the worst designed fastener in the world when it comes to automotive. Well, besides the hex head, the Allen head, you know, they're pretty terrible too. At least in the rust belt. Let's see here. Wow, I was gonna baby that a little bit, but I didn't. That one I did. That worked out lovely. They came right out. They have Loctite on them. That worked great. Oh, did that thing not come out? Oh, okay, it does come out. So there's our park and brake little ordeal. We'll pull our little rubber out. We're gonna have to give this a few whacks. Let's move this, I don't know, probably a few more than what this hammer has in it. This is gonna break, don't worry. Oh, it didn't break, look at that. And I caught it with my fingers. That's called coming in clutch. So there's that, and there's that. So easy peasy, do it in your driveway. And the reason we're changing that is because there's so much corrosion up inside the pins. I'm afraid it's migrated down inside the speed sensor because he's having an issue with this wheel. Tried to clean the corrosion off, and it works a little bit. Light still comes on, goes off. So we're just fixing the problem this time. What's up?
So
You've been out to visit us a lot.
I just love you. Stay away.
I know, you're a lucky lady.
So there's a lady out here,
Mm.
and it looks like she drove on her flat, or drove on her flat tires, you know?
Okay.
She has a spare.
Okay. Heck yeah, you can if he's got time. Does he have time?
Yeah, I think so.
Be careful on the aluminum. You can get crazy with it. This thing looks pretty clean on the back and on the front. So I think we're good to go. Let's get our new bearing and start putting this mess all back together. Here's our new bearing from the Amper. I don't remember the number. BR something or other. Make sure when you put it together you've got the connector going the correct direction because it can go both ways. Okay. She slips right in. I did not bring any stuff. Although, oops, I lost my straw. Although it's likely the last time this thing will ever need any action back here. So we hit her with a little of the blaster. Usually we use fluid film, but this is what was in my hands. And does it really matter at the end of the day? Oh, so this is interesting. Oh, I see. So this has an adapter on it, an adapter kit, just like Johnny's Cadillac. However, the connector we use does not need this adapter kit. So you can use the double dong pronger on the sides, or you put the adapter on here, and it's the single donger top grabber. You won't find that in service data. What was that noise? Put my park and brake shoes on there. Slid that little guy right back in there. We'll find a few bolts here that will work. Here's some. I'm just gonna do the top one. Whoa, dude. Slip that little guy right down in there. And then we'll find a socket and an extension. We'll stick that on there like that. We'll come up here. Again, make sure your plug's going the right direction. You're not gonna be happy with yourself. Now see, at this point you think, you know what, Eric? You're not just putting in a standard wheel bearing. So you go like this and you take it back out and you say, frick! Here's this. What a dog and pony show this is. We're going to stick our rubber back on here. We're going to make sure that's oriented correctly, which I believe it is. We're going to double check, and it is not. So we're going to flip that around town. Get that going in the correct direction. And we'll slide this little guy right up and in there before we get in trouble. Then we're going to flip it over and put the bolts back in it. Yeah, that's got to be right. Like you can really trust me at this point. I believe it only goes one way. However, the cable portion faces the front. The spring was in the rear. Torque setting number 1. Oh, we're gonna have to go 1.5. Ooh, easy fella. Just one clickety-clack on those. Now, I suppose we can just put all this together. I did take and pop that off the cable. Kind of wire wheeled her up a bit so she'll fit a little easier. So we'll go ahead and we'll slip that little guy in there. Like so. Now, we should be able to flip it around. We're gonna have to be careful. Let me, I think it came with a little chunk of cardboard we can use. I don't want to break that connector. Look at that. Give us our own little workbench area. We're gonna take some silicone. Take some silicone grease here. I did bring out a brush for the acid. Stir it up. We'll pack it in here. Now I've already cleaned this out. Just cleaned all the old schmutz out of it, we'll call it. Or re-schmutz it. There's that. I don't know where all my pieces went. Oh, they're down here. I don't know what they had on it, but boy, the parts washer would hardly even touch it. So we'll put a little bit in there. We'll stick our pin in here. Okay, I just do that so it holds it. Make sure that goes in the correct side. Which is there. We'll get a little on our threads here. Not that this is ever going to get used, but so we'll thread her in, we'll thread her out, make sure our threads are nice. And then this is a little ratcheting retainer here. We're just going to screw it all the way in. Because like I say, it's never going to get used. Doesn't work anyways, but we'll put it together like it does. I just missed the groove. We'll stick that little guy down in the groove. Then we'll slip it in. Okay, yeehaw, there we go. So that's all together. And then the parking brake shoes are not in the way of the bolts. So we're gonna wind that like that. Keep that down like that. Line her up in the groove here. In a downward dog facing position. We need to make sure we're under that metal clip at the top. And now we are, because now it's not loose. So now we can install our loaded assembly. I don't know why I stuck this on the socket. Let's just try to drop it in there. Ha! Bingo! First try. That's it. So let's go ahead and stick this back up there. And with a little bit of luck, your connector's facing the right direction. And ours is. We're a couple of lucky ducks, aren't we? Pretty long-winded. Alright, there's that one. And here comes the lovely Mrs. O. Again. Again.
Kim with the journeys here.
Kim with the
Talk to
journey.
her.
I do want to talk to her. You tell her I'll be right in. Got a lady here with a Dodge Journey, came in for the inspection. Everything went good. Everything looked good. Boom, plugged it in, failed. Emissions. None of the monitors are set. And allegedly, she hasn't touched it. However, she did state that the engine light has been coming on and off. Goes on, goes off. Something to do with the thermostat, she says. Oh, there's a big clue for you. So that's gonna be your classic P0128, which will inhibit the monitors from running. I'm surprised. We still have this in wuss bag mode, so no, I'm not stripping stuff out, calm down. I'm just surprised her light doesn't come on and stay on, to be honest with you. We'll grab a little ratchet. Let me go talk to this lady. Be right back. Stand by. Okay. She wants to just do it. Do it and be done with it. I'm just going to go through and snug these up a little bit. Of course, we'll come back. Torque wrench, all that stuff. Many of these Harbor Freight ratchets have been holding up quite well. The heads haven't gotten loose on them yet or anything. Really giving it the beans multiple occasions. What I did is, so this is their, I think they call it their G2. I don't know what that means. Second gen. Throw some gang signs with that. It's their second gen, I guess. I just took and replaced all my snap-on ratchets. I didn't like get rid of them. I just stuck them to the side. Put these icons in place of them just so I can see how they work every day in the shop. I think that's the only true test. You can do all kinds of stuff and pull on them till they break and all that, but the true test is how does it work in real life in the shop? Because at the end of the day, the snap-on ones break, the Mac tools break, the Cornwells break, the Matcos break, the Carlisles break, the you fill in the blank brand, they all break. It's just how often do they break? Is it so much that you're like, give me a break? Or is it just like, once a year, oh crap, I can't believe that broke. So we're gonna do that. We'll get the rusty, crusty rotor. And we're gonna have to clean off the inside. It's got too much gobbledygooks in there. We don't want it sitting cockeyed, not that it probably breaks really smooth. Fixed. Slip it right in. All right, do your due diligence, Eric. Even though the parking brake doesn't get used, we're gonna adjust it out. Okay, last try. Right, we'll leave it at that. He's close. We did the best job we could. Well, not the best job. We did a pretty good job for what we're working with. All right. That one is clicked. Get our hanky back out of there. There's that. We also have to remove the cluster from this thing. I don't know if I told you guys that or not, but that's part of what it's here for. We got to pull the cluster out and send it in. I was going to send it to United Radio. However, the lady I spoke to wouldn't let me talk to my normal guy I speak to. Because I called, you got to have a part number when you call there, so I looked up the VIN, looked up the OEM part number, called, talked to the lady, said, hey lady, here's the part number. She said, that's not in our system. I said, okay. I said, well, I know that they've done a zillion of these things, and I didn't want to, at that point, pull the cluster out and give her the part number off the actual back of the cluster. So I said, hey, can I talk to my guy? I've got a guy, I won't mention his name, but I got my guy there that rebuilds my Chevy clusters. And she said no, because he's going to tell you the same thing I just told you. I said, okay, you have a nice day. So then I called circuit board medics. I said, yeah, man, send it in. We know exactly which one you're talking about. Bada bing, bada boom. We got a flat rate repair. We'll turn around. You get it, we'll fix it. So there, United Radio. Usually the lady you speak to is pretty nice, but I mean, she wasn't nasty. She just said, no, I can't talk to him because he's going to say the same thing. Okay. So I'll just send it somewhere else. Because all I needed, not that they can't do a competent job, it's just at that point, at that moment in time, I needed to quote it out. So I needed a price. And that was it. So I knew if I could talk to my regular guy, he would know. But I was just trying to find a price right at that moment in time. That was all I was looking for. And it wasn't worth doing the email and all that stuff. So we just move on. And I'm not by any means telling you to not use United Radio. Because shoot, they've done clusters for me since I was just a little kid. Long time. Son of a frick hole, you idiot. You should have done that before you put the dang rotor on. Frickin' ding dong. Today is my lucky day. Today's your lucky day, fella. The auto adjuster on the pedal still works. I can't believe it. I just pulled the front cable back towards me a little bit and clicked some vice grips on it, and she held. I can't believe that. I thought for sure that front cable would be seized straight up, but wow, even that cable's not seized up. Oh, cats. Whew. Okay, there's that. Spring. Need to put the spring on. That one. But anyhow, I'll still use United Radio, obviously. Oh, what a low-cost production this is. Here we go, though. But yeah, like I say, you can see the mechanism actually still works. Wow, it actually legally passed inspection if it worked. Huh. Now it's going to be a matter of getting this harness out of here. Well, the thing actually still has some retainers left in it. Hopefully we don't need to pull the control arms. I don't think you do, but we're going to have to take our time here. It does have these metal retainers that hold the harness down to the control arm, which will not pull through that opening. However, they have them right up here at the very end, which is going to prove to be a little bit difficult. Let me get this speed sensor unplugged here. Probably should look at our new harness to see if it even looks remotely close. I hope it does. That one's nice and clean, which I assume we looked at that before. Doing a lot of assumptions here, aren't we? Okay, so this is where it gets tough because this harness was put in prior to it having the control arms installed. Let's see, that's a zip tie retainer up there. Let me take and pop that out. Okay, so there we go. Easy peasy. Pull that down. Now this connector probably won't go through that hole, or does it? It does. Huzzah. Okay, so then we just need to move this over and get the harness out of this metal bracket. So this is going to be a PETA, putting the new one in, because we're going to have to do something similar but in reverse, because this metal bracket is what keeps that harness from rubbing on the control arm, theoretically. And it has two of them on there. Here's a guy who wasn't thinking. Hopefully this will come up and over the top. Probably won't, in which case, and it does. So I told you that it would. So that's nice. I don't think we can pull the whole McFaddy right through there. So we're gonna have to do something different to get this all back in. This harness has been repaired down in this section as well. It's got butt connectors and stuff on it from where this connector has been done in the past. Okay, so all of those metal retainers are off from there. We'll slip it through. So there's our harness. Let's go get the new one. That's our new one. We got it from Napper. Looks fancy. Don't have my knife on me. Where's the knife? There she is again. Been making some mistakes in this video.
And you let them see that you make mistakes?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
No one mistake I didn't make in my life was marrying you. Why are you laughing?
You're so
I
good.
wasn't joking.
Customers on the phone.
Good customer?
Guy with a Dakota. Got a tire issue.
Yes, ma'am.
2 tires are here. He wants to know about what the deal is.
What a deal. Boy, he does not like driving on that full-size spare, does he? Okay. Let me just stick that right in that hole. Let's put that there so I don't forget where it goes. Okay, let me help you out, Miss though. Again. Bit of a pissa to do these. So this curve that's in here goes over, you know, like the end of the bushing, because that's where the wire, it's kind of a guide for the wire. This upper one is a little more difficult to get in there. I find that I just slide it up get it up there where it needs to be, then I go around it with a 90 and clip it down on, and then we'll have to fish the zip tie up and around the little retainer. Get that right where it needs to be. Get a little push here. Make sure it's locked down good. Can't really go anywhere, but it is very important that this retainer is on there to hold that harness right up on top of that little metal tab to keep that thing from rubbing. Let's get it all spun around up on top. Like I say, the zip ties are way easier than tape at this point. And then this one here, we have to put the wire into it. Get our clicker down all the way. She's kind of tight there with the zip tie. We won't zip it just yet. Take it back off just a little bit, just enough to get my other zip tie fished down through there. Alright, pull those tight. Pair of flush cuts. There's that, and then we have one more. Oh wow, did I grab the exact number of zip ties I needed? That's amazing. Got this last one here. Just like that. With a little bit of luck, everything will work. Gosh, probably should have turned the key on first before we went and zip tied it all down. Okay, so that's all there. That one's up and over and in a happy spot. Same thing with that guy. Harness just runs through that hole, and there's only one retainer at the top, which we have, and then we plugged it in, and it even plugged in, so that's a good thing. I'm gonna bolt tire on it, and we gotta get this cluster yanked out, and then we're gonna move on with our life. That's the right side. Ooh, that's the right side. Had to plug that in. Wanted to clear the code. I just don't trust myself, so I wanted to double check. That's the left side. And that's the left side. Boom. Got it. Well, that's it, folks. Got that guy all fixed up, and he's out of here. UPS guy showed up, picked up the cluster, and that thing's out of here. And the guy's going to stop back when the cluster shows back up in about a week at the most. By the time they get it, they fix it, they send it back. I'm happy, you're happy, customer will be happy. We're all gonna be happy. We're living in our happy place. Bearing went well. Parking brake little ordeal there. Should have put the cable on before I put the rotor on, but fortunately in this case the front cable still worked, which was great because you could just pull it out and pull the slack out of the auto adjuster. Clamp a little pair of vice grips on it, and you know, get you out of your pickle. And that's simply because I wasn't thinking. That happens often. I remember growing up, my dad's like, will you think about that? Like, no, Dad, if I did, I wouldn't have done it. But I don't have a fully developed frontal lobe. I'm a teenager. He didn't understand. And it usually didn't get me out of my jam. And then when I was in my 20s, still do it. Well, I don't know. Maybe your frontal lobe's still developing them. I don't know. It was always my excuse. Don't you guys have an excuse for not going into that comment section and leaving a nice comment? Question or concern? While you're down there, find us on Insta, the Facebook. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.